Alrighty, so today we're gonna finish reviewing the remaining two games that happened yesterday. Keep in mind, I already reviewed the Inter Miami versus FC Cincinnati video as part of a separate video. But now let's look at the other U.S. Open Cup, which is the Houston Dynamo versus RSL. And just like the game between FC Cincinnati and Inter Miami, this game did go to extra time. But unlike the FC Cincinnati against Inter Miami, this one didn't go the distance. It didn't go to a PK shootout, and in some way, we kind of saw it coming with the way that Houston, they were knocking on the door for most part of this game. RSL looked like they were just hanging on for dear life and praying to get into a PK shootout, but alas, Houston were able to move on into the next round, and now pretty much MLS and US Open Cup got their wishes, because I'm pretty sure all those US Open Cup organizer was really hoping Houston wins this one, because if Houston does win this one, that means Inter Miami gets to host the final in their backyard. Either it's going to be at Drive Pink Stadium, or from what I heard, it seems like they could potentially host the final at Hard Rock Stadium. Now, early on, I actually had no idea what happened in the first 20 minutes of this game. So I was watching the CBS Golazo network. They, of course, were broadcasting both of these U.S. Open Cup games, but because the game between Cincinnati and Inter Miami ran a little bit late, and they said that game that is the Dynamo versus RSL that is going to overlap is going to actually play at Paramount Plus. And since I don't have Paramount Plus, that means I couldn't watch this game whatsoever. So yeah, I only were able to tune into this game after the Miami and Cincinnati game was finished, and by then, already about 20 minutes have been played in this one. But that being said, I did check the stats. There were 3 shots in the first 20 minutes, and I also look at the feed in terms of what really happened. There wasn't really much that happened. I don't think neither of these teams really had good opportunity, and also there wasn't a goal that was scored in the first 20 minutes. But as it is the case in the Miami versus Cincinnati game, we did had a hydration break at the 33-minute mark, because of course this is at Houston. You know that whenever there's a game in the Texas Heat, you're going to have a hydration break. Though in the 38th minute there was an ugly collision between Hector Herrera and McMath, and I was surprised McMath was able to stay in this game, because with that collision, I think it was Herrera, the one that kind of ran into McMath accidentally and kind of took out his knee there. Again, I was surprised that with that collision, McMath was able to stay in this game, but he was able to do so. And in the 45th minute, or in the 5th minute stoppage time, Herrera gets the opening goal as he scored here from Bassi to make it 1-0 in favor of Houston, and it was a gift, because this was just a bad clearance there from RSL, unable to clear their lines, and yeah, Houston took full advantage of it, and they lead it 1-0, and they looked like they were 2-0 up just 3 minutes later when Corey Bear would puts the ball into the back net, but apparently they said that the goal was disallowed for offside, and after the VAR check was over, that's when the halftime whistle was blown, and I think that is probably to the relief of RSL and all their fans, because my goodness, they completely capitulated in the latter part of this first half, and they are very lucky the fact that they didn't hit the second half of a mountain to climb, uh, down 2-0 in the semifinal. So that being said, in the second half, Carrasquilla would put it just wide from close, and then Bear would hit one right to McMath. Quinones would put it wide from close range as Houston continued to have that momentum that they had in the latter part of the the first half. They were on the front foot looking for a second goal. McMath then denied Escobar from close range, but then a couple of seconds later, Julio would score from Savarino to tie the game up at one apiece. It was completely against the run of play, because Houston were the better team up to that point. Herrera then puts it wide off of the free kick, and then McMath was able to deny Herrera on the free kick again. As I thought it was a good response for Houston. You knew that they were looking to try to get the lead again. Julio then had a shot that took a wicked deflection, but it goes onto the roof of the net, and then McNabb had to deny Julio from close range. So as soon as I wrote that it was a good response for Houston, of course the opposite happened with the way that RSL looked like they started to create some chances. Carrasquilla then tried to stab one in from close, but he hits it right to McMath. That also came off a bad turnover from RSL. Yeah, you cannot do that against this Houston Dynamo team, especially with how good they are on the transitional play. Quinones then puts it into the side netting, and really, as the time winds down, it looked like Houston want this winner. They did not want to have this one go to extra time. RSL, you can clearly see they were playing for extra time and playing for PK, which is kind of holding on for dear life. Karaskia then pulls it wide from close range, and indeed, we are going to go to extra time in this game, just like the game between Inter Miami and Cincinnati. Now, in the first half of extra time, Karaskia would pulls it just wide from long range, as once again, Houston picked up where they left off. They were looking for the go ahead goal in extra time and was pressing for that. Vera did had a shot that was deflected wide before McMath had to tip Quinones shots over. Sevchenko then tried to fire it wide from long range, so why not? A center back trying to maybe fire it from long range, but didn't get on target. But what did get on target was in the 105th minute, as Karaskia would score here from Bassi to make it 2-1 in favor of Houston. Karaskia had a monster game in this one, and same with Bassi, who gets the underrated hat trick of getting assists in this one. But also, I thought that was a gut punch for RSL because they were so close of heading into the first half with extra time, not conceding the goal despite just under so much pressure against this Houston side. But at the same time, you kind of saw it was coming. Like Houston was knocking on the door. It was a matter of time before they breached that door, and they did in the 105th minute. And we do head to the first half of extra time with Houston leading 2-1. And you just kind of had a feeling that, yeah, RSL, I don't think they have enough to kind of overcome. I mean, this is not like Cincinnati where they were able to overcome in the second half of extra time. And it kind of showed as the Dynamo continued to dominate possession. RSL was looking like they were chasing shadow. They looked like they were absolutely dejected. There was a shout for a penalty not given for the Dynamo, and to make things worse for RSL, in the 105th minute, they would go down to 10 men, and this was just a rush of blood from Mateus Vera. Or you would like to say that maybe this is an MLS After Dark or US Open Cup After Dark kind of moment, because keep in mind, this game kicked off around 8:40 p.m. Local time. Of course, it's a late kickoff because they would want to do it as part of a doubleheader, but also I think it's better the fact that this game was a late kickoff because you do not want to play this game in a hot Texas heat at around 7 o'clock local time. But by then it was already past 11 o'clock, so you know there's going to be some crazy things that's going to happen. And here, Mateus Vera definitely take U.S. Open Cup After Dark in a bad way because after he basically swing his arm toward Quinones. Now, to be fair, Quinones kind of embellished there a little bit, but that being said, you cannot swing your arm toward an opponent like that. And keep in mind, Vera was already on the yellow card, so that obviously is an automatic second yellow there. He also had some choice words toward Quinones as he was down. Probably he wasn't happy that he went down on the ground way too easily. And then after he got sent off, he continued to have a rush of blood as he basically grabbed Bassi in the neck. He kind of swing him down, and then he also had some choice words with Artur. And the reason why he didn't get even worse is because both McMath and and another RSL player that I forgot who it is. Oh, it was Mateus Silva had to help him back. I mean, when your teammate had to help you back from a rush of blood moment, you know you did something badly, and this was just a despicable act there from Mateus. He clearly lost his cool in this, and I won't be surprised that not only he'll be suspended in the next U.S. Open Cup game whenever RSL play, he could hand out a multiple. He would get a potentially get a multiple game suspension because that was just absolutely reckless of what he did. But in the 124th minute, Aliu would puts it wide from close range, and in the fifth minute stoppage time, Houston had the cherry on top as Caicedo would score from Bassi to make it 3-1 in this game to confirm their places in the U.S. Open Cup final. And yeah, that was the final score of this game. As the shots in this one, 30 shots compared to 11 that RSL had, 10 shots on goal for the 2 that RSL had, 4 shots off target for the 14 that Houston had, 6 shots on block for the 5 that RSL had, and possession-wise, 68% possession compared to 32% possession that RSL has in this one. And keep in mind, 10 years ago, Ben Olsen was able to get a DC United team that was dead last in MLS and able to win the U.S. Open Cup. And guess which team that he was able to beat in that U.S. Open Cup final? Oh yeah, that's right. It is Real Salt Lake. So he did it again in this one. And who would have thought that in the year of 2023, Ben Olsen would still be in a cup final? I mean, I definitely didn't see that coming, and I think that is going to be kind of an ultimate battle between Tata Martino, a guy that is definitely well loved in the MLS fan base with his great great fun attacking style that he has with Atlanta United and now with Inter Miami against a very pragmatic and old school approach from Ben Olsen. I mean I know a lot of people will say that in that final, yeah, probably Inter Miami is gonna win it because Houston, they're not really a good good team, and the fact that on the road it's almost like an automatic L for them. I don't think so. I think it should be an interesting battle, and that again, I've said this before. You 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 got to play the game, and not just say that. Well, one team is obviously going to get the easy win because when you do play the game, and things could definitely be different. And this Houston team, they're not just there to say hi to Messi. I'm pretty sure they're chasing to get another U.S. Open Cup, and we'll see whether if they can do so. And they kind of sent a message to Inter Miami that, yeah, they can't take them lightly because in this game, if they were just a little bit more clinical in this one, they probably would have won this one in regular time instead of going to extra time. With that being said, moving on in the last game that I'm going to review, which is the only MLS game that happened on Wednesday. I mean, for those that you were watching U.S. Open Cup action, you didn't even realize that there was actually an MLS game, and it was LAFC versus the Colorado Rapids, and this game kind of and what you expected in this one. I mean, Colorado, their season is pretty much done, and it's hard the fact that even if there is a small glimmer of a hope coming back from this home stretch. It doesn't help that if they want to start a miraculous run, they have to face against one of the best team in the league, that is LAFC, and yeah, they got absolutely destroyed in this game. Now, early on, Illich had to rob Gonzalez from point blank. Mario Gonzalez once again had a lot of good chances in this one. Very unlucky to not get on the score sheet. But there was no doubt that LAFC was on the front foot. They were looking for the early opener. Illich would then deny Gomez again as he was in on goal, and then Gomez would with a shot from close range. The first shot for Colorado did came in the 10th minute as Rosenberry puts it right to McCarthy, and I thought after a slow start, Colorado started to get into this game. Like they started to get more possession, weather the early storm from LAFC, but they did concede a goal in the 19th minute, and it's Mateo Bogusz. He scored from Gonzalez here to make it 1-0 in favor of LAFC. Pretty much an identical goal that Bogusz scored against Rayados at the Rose Bowl. And yeah, that gives LAFC a 1-0 lead. There was then a check to see if Abubakar foul on Holland's head in the box is worthy of a penalty. The VAR says nope. McCarthy then denied Rosenberry, but he did spill this one and was able to hang on a second attempt. And then Gonzalez thought that he put the ball into the back net, but unfortunately, the offside flag did not agree with him. And actually, it wasn't him that was in an offside position. It actually happened on the development of play. But 1 minute later, Vela was not in an offside position, and he buries this chance from Ilie to make it 2-0 in favor of LAFC. 7 minutes later, it would be 3-0 in favor of LAFC as Holland's head would score from Bawanga to make it 3-0 in favor of LAFC. And this is where I kind of started not paying too much attention to this game because these two games were going on at the same time. And this game, because it run really late, it actually run at around finish almost around the same time as this game actually finished. So yeah, I wasn't really paying attention to too much to this one because this was already been a blowout, and I even wrote this could get really ugly for Colorado because them down 3-0, and knowing LAFC at least in the last couple of games have shown that they look like the team that we've seen a couple of years, a free scoring team. This could get 4, 5, or 6 nothing ugly that we see in this one. But Vela did pulls it just wide from close to the third man stoppage time, and we do head to halftime with LAFC leading 3-0. Now in the second half, it feels like LAFC did kind of uh put off the or did try to step off the gas pedal a little bit, and the Rapids, to their credit, they were definitely playing for some pride. And you expected that. I mean, a Robin Fraser team, even if they're not having a great season, they're gonna play for some pride. They were on the front foot and was looking to get one back. Navarro would hit one right to McCarthy before McCarthy would deny Ronan from long range. Acosta then blast one into the 3-2-5-2, and then Illich would deny Bawanga in the 54th minute as LAFC started to put on the gas pedal again. They have woke up looking for that fourth goal. Rubio would then heads it right to McCarthy. Bawanga would put it into the net, but for the second time in this game, the goal was disallowed. This time it was a foul there that he commit on Maxo, which yeah, I feel like that definitely was soft in my opinion, and I think the fans inside BMO Stadium agreed. The boos were raining down because of the disallowed goal. Bawanga then hits the side netting in the back post before Illich would deny Ilie, but he did give up a rebound, and there was Oliveira trying to score his first career MLS goal, but he was also denied by Illich. But he was not denied in the 83rd minute as he scored his first career MLS goal from Bawanga to make it 4-0 in favor of LAFC. And this is where I really stopped paying attention to this game because of what I saw in this game that was unfolding. Especially this was around the time when Vera basically had that rush of blood moment, and I was really keeping an eye on this one. So yeah, I didn't really write any notes after that because this game was well and truly done. I mean, it was pretty much done in the first half as LAFC walked away with an easy win, 4-0 against the Colorado Rapids. Shots in this one, 20 shots committed, 13 that Colorado has, 4 shots on goal for the 8 that LAFC had, 5 shots off target for the 7 that LAFC had, 4 shots that was blocked for the 5 that LAFC had, and possession-wise, 51% possession compared to the 49% possession that Colorado has. And it's not often you see an MLS game that gone exactly according to script, and that's what we saw in this one. LAFC just very dominant in this game, brush aside against a Rapids team that is clearly in see you next season mode. But there you have it. That is pretty much it in terms of looking at these two games that happened yesterday. And again, if you're wondering where the Inter Miami versus FC Cincinnati review is, I've already done that review as a single review. So make sure you check that out on my channel. But until then, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, make sure you guys do like, smash the subscribe button. And yeah, I, of course, will see you guys next time.